Greetings and welcome to Anu Asafo. I'm your host, Kim, and last week on the show, my guest reviewed one of the Anu Order's new videos, Shrines and Altars. It's one of 3 new DVDs offered on the Sadulu House website. So this week, my guest and I will be reviewing another one out of that collection, which is Orisha Archetypes. I'd suggest that you check out saduluhouse.com. That's SAD as in dog, ULUHOUSE.com. There's a lot of new information and new products in the store section of the website. There are also some really great bundle deals on the services, books, and DVDs to help you save some money. So if you're just coming into the training course, that would be a great resource for new students. You can actually bundle all of the literature, all of the new literature to help you through the course. The DVDs that we'll be speaking on today are just, really great resources for everyone, not just students. The content, of course, is very good, but the quality of the videos is awesome. It's not your average conscious, lecture DVD. So the guests today are going to talk about that later on in the show as well. So make sure you make sure you go to saduluhouse.com and check out all of the new additions and updates to the site. Stay tuned to this show to hear more about some of the things covered in those videos. Of course, we can't, cover it all or reveal all, so make sure you check it out for yourself, or you have a dinner party and invite your friends or family over to have a great discussion on some of the topics. But as always, before we get into that part of the show, let's recap what's going on with the Self-Actualization Tour and the Anu Spiritual Training. So, click on the follow button on the Enlightenment and Transformation page of Blog Talk Radio to keep up with all of the shows, as well as news and announcements with the Anu Spiritual Order and Training. Also, be sure to check out the many resources provided by the Anu Order to keep you in the loop of what's going on. On Facebook, you have Orisha Religion, Sadulu House Spiritual Institute, Huyuya Asan Anu, and the Self-Actualization with the Cosmic Forces of West Africa. Information is posted regularly on those pages and is updated on a regular basis. So make sure you go there to check out what all is going on. On the web, you have anunation.org, saduluhouse.org, orishareligion.com, and enlightenmentandtransformation.com. On those sites, you can find lectures, tons of free, effective rituals. You can schedule readings, get contact information, as well as sign up for the training. The websites have tons of information if you have any questions about what's going on with the Anu Order of Training. Also, you can find contact information for, customer service issues. There are also YouTube channels, Anu Nation, Sons of Sankofa, Huyuya Asan Anu, and Orisha Yoruba. So there are many ways to stay in touch with what's going on and ways that you can reach out for readings or questions if you have them. So please check one of those sites or resources first before you try to call or leave a message on the Facebook page or on any of some of the numbers that you guys may have, because you can usually find the answers there. If you're a registered student, make sure you join the Anu Spiritual Training on Facebook, and you can ask your questions there. The students are very active in the group, and they can help you with any questions that you may have, because I promise you, someone in the group has more than likely asked the exact same question. So make sure you go there first. The self-actualization tour is almost to a close, but you do still have a chance to catch one of the workshops. So make sure that on December 27th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. you check out Heru at Black and Nobel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That workshop is entitled The Powers of the 14 African Principles. He will be discussing the spiritual significance of Kuji Chagulia, which is the second day of Kwanzaa, and the work of cultivating family, community, and culture. You have a little time to plan for this one, so if you don't live in the area, you have time to make travel reservations or whatever you may need to do to get to Philadelphia. But the time is coming, quickly, so make sure you get your plans and everything lined up before you miss it. If you do plan to attend, please go to meetup.com, meetup.com, and RSVP for the event. The name of the meetup group is Enlightened Spirit. Also, be sure to check out Heru's new show, Chief Speaks, on the High Frequency Radio Network channel, where he will be answering questions and giving spiritual advice live. He will not be doing readings, so please don't call in and ask for a reading, but you can ask questions if you have them. That show broadcasts simultaneously on this channel, Enlightenment and Transformation. So, I'm going to take a quick break for more announcements, and we'll be back with this week's show.
Okay, announcements. December 27th, I will be presenting a workshop, Power of the 14 African Principles, at Black and Nobel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is December 27th between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And I'm sure you will enjoy that. Again, I urge you to RSVP now. You can go to Enlightenment and Transformation for more information. Also, we urge everyone to sign up for the free Orisha Unlock Your Inner Power podcast-based class on the SedulaHouse.com. We are coming down to the wire. We'll be presenting not only our new spiritual training, phase 1, on the Sedula House, but several other classes that we have coming, which will be supportive classes. We have more free classes coming forth as a support to the Our New Spiritual Training, and also as an offering to our listening audience, those who are just here enjoying the information and applying the information. You can get a first-hand approach to our learning material by way of our free courses. So we urge you to sign up. Of course, Unleash Your Inner Power is podcast based, but we will be putting some other ones up there as well that are directly and exclusive just to the SedulaHouse.com platform. So we look forward to you joining us over there. Of course, every Sunday, we have a live broadcast by the name of Chief Speaks. You can tune in right here on Enlightenment and Transformation, and you can call in with your questions. And I ask that we keep the questions down to at least one question per caller, and that's 11 a.m. every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern and 8 a.m. Pacific. And that is the Chief Speaks show, which is a live Q&A segment where you can call in and ask the questions that you need to. All right. And that has been our announcement for this segment. Now back to our broadcast.
Again, I am here. I am Kim, your host, and I'm here with Audrey and Tanisha. And today we are reviewing Chief's latest DVD on Orisha archetypes. So we're just going to kind of give our opinion on it. We got together one night this week and watched the video, and so we're just going to talk about how we felt about it or what we learned from it. So feel free to share. My first question is, just without going into too much detail, or you can, it's fine. What did you think about the video just overall? The content or how it was put together?
I think for me, being new to the Orishas, I thought that his explanations and names being able to be connected to the descriptions were really, that was good. I'd like to at some point hear more stories and things related to it. Sort of like more of an in-depth.
Right.
Maybe even documentary type and that sort of thing, but those pieces of the lecture or something here was good in terms of giving me more of an introduction. I'm more familiar with angels and that sort of thing.
Well, I'll just add this on the Blog Talk channel, Enlightenment and Transformation channel. There are breakdowns of each Orisha, along with a breakdown of the names and the patakis that go along with it. So they're there if you feel you need to check it out. Tanisha, you want to tell us about what you thought?
I thought the DVD, like she said, it was a great introduction to the Orishas. I like how he put it in the modern day format, like with the Beyonces and the Ike Turner, because it give us something to relate to. Like, okay. I like how he personified it. I like the setups. Just it was with me. It was good for the eye. Okay. Like you're not just watching the same angle. Talking head.
Right, yeah.
Like I got a lot of information from the DVD.
Well, that was really that connection with, we said Shango is the modern Ike Turner. Oshun then is what?
It was Tina Turner.
It was Tina Turner. And Oshun then is Beyonce, that sort of thing. Then that makes it really tangible.
Right. And I think that
really tangible.
Yeah, I think that's good because oftentimes I think that's why a lot of people don't connect to, younger people don't connect to religion, is because when you talk about it, they talk about it as if it's so archaic and back in the day.
Right.
And you kind of feel not included in that. It's just like, that's the old stuff. We want to talk about what's going on right now.
Right.
And they cannot sometimes make that connection. So, yeah, I enjoyed that too. That was one of my moments where I was like, okay.
Yeah,
that makes
Light
sense.
Bulb came on.
I was like, anime book. Yeah, it is represented by the bull. Okay. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. I also liked the way he tied in the Orisha names to just even biblical.
Yes.
Biblical names. That was interesting how he broke down Jehovah.
And then Peter,
Patah. Yeah, that was.
I'd like to hear more of that.
It's
a lot more of that.
They all are there on the Blog Talk channel. I'll have to see it.
Yeah, a lot more of that. Because I don't find even a lot of the conscious speakers that can do that much of a variation.
Right.
Particularly for, let's say, us that have been in a traditional church sort of environment. Oh, okay, I can relate to Peter.
Right.
That sort of thing, and how does actually relate.
Right.
That works.
It really does. It really does.
And a depth to it.
Yeah. Well, I know, Audrey, you said that you were more familiar with the angels, which is a similar thing. But I was going to ask, I know, Tanisha, you are familiar with the Orishas. How was his breakdown of it a little bit, how was it different from what you've learned previously about the Orisha? Was it, because oftentimes you hear about them, they sound very superhero, cartoonish, kind of like characters or people. And people teach it, even a lot of traditionalists in the culture teach it that way. Like, you must worship Oshun. You must, how did the explanation he gave of it kind of change your view a little bit or make it easier for you to work with?
Just basically, they work for you.
Right.
You know, you don't work for them.
Right.
Just as simple as that.
Mm.
And so it was just like, okay, that was a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from when he said that.
They are to be employed.
Yeah.
Employed.
Right.
Yeah, to use that terminology. See, because even in a lot of the church tradition, you have, well, you only worship Jesus. And even though, you know, the Catholic tradition, you have many, many angels.
Right.
And,
Right.
you know, when you're over there in the Baptist, you don't know how to work with
Angels.
to connect,
Isn't that
and that's the
interesting?
thing. So, but you still live within the realm of Christianity and stuff.
Right.
But I like the concept, like we're older, having a human experience, and these are,
He said
helpers.
streams of consciousness, streams of cognition, streams of consciousness to work with.
Yeah.
I like when he said, you're the creator.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was important. He's like, you're the creator. They have to work with you. You have to exude yourself as I'm the creator.
Right.
I'm creating this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I thought that was important.
Right. It gives you back your power.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right.
much of empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
You're empowered to create what you desire.
Right.
You know.
I was going to say one thing that I really loved about our new system when I first came in is that he takes a lot of the dogma out of it and makes it less religious. Also taking the most effective parts from different traditions was big for me, because a lot of people feel like you got to accept the whole thing and nothing else. You can't mix and match. You can't mix different traditions together. So I know he gets ringed for that sometimes. I'm like, you're not representing the culture right because you're mixing this with that. But he shows how pretty much all indigenous systems work the same way. It's just you know.
I think that's so much a part of being the how the focus is on self-empowerment.
Right.
If I'm empowered myself, then I can see, okay, this works here, but a part of that doesn't necessarily work. But this might work here. I ought to be then grounded enough to be able to pick and pull it together what I need in order to make my thing work. But when you are not empowered, when you give up your power, I think, you are steered towards where you don't know the difference. We got to help you. We got to direct what you say. See, you only can stay within these lines. Otherwise, you're out there, you know, by yourself. That's the difference. When you, if you're strong enough to develop a foundation yourself, I can pick and choose. This works, that doesn't work.
Right.
If I'm giving up my power, that you are all being or whatever, or this particular theology is all being, then I have to stay within these confines.
Right.
I don't think, I know I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. Me either. What were some of your little aha or moments? I know I had a few. One in particular was describing the difference between humans and mankind. Or no, man and mankind. That was interesting.
I know he said zombies or something.
Said what?
Zombies.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
Let's
they-
talk about
was
that.
that close?
We can talk about that. I think it was around that part.
Okay.
But we can talk about that. Energy vampires.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That really got me.
yeah. And just,
That they need your energy.
right. They
to
need
be
your attention.
And would do anything to get your attention.
Anything.
To acknowledge
right.
them.
Right.
you know, you killed somebody, and
Yeah.
that affirms that. Oh, okay, the masses of us didn't give our attention to somebody getting killed.
We just need you to look our way, just for, even if it's for a split second. And one thing he said is that it doesn't even matter if it's good or bad. We just need you to acknowledge us. I don't care how you feel about it. Just look at it. And you know, I was watching the news today, and there was a school shooting, I think in Oregon today, and this was a black school.
Really?
It was like an alternative school. At the time when I was watching, I don't think any children died, but I think like maybe at the time 3 were shot or something like that. I'm not sure, because I kind of caught the tail end of the story. But it just, you know, it made me think with everything that's been going on with the Ferguson trial, with you know, with all these police brutalities and things like that, how something, you know, how at one point we're so focused on making a change and making a difference in that, and then boom, something like this happens to divert your attention away from that to now, oh hey, look over here. We want you to focus on this, put that down for now, and let's focus on the school shooting over here.
So you have a constant or a continual acting out, so that the masses of energy is put towards, you know, some of anything.
And then it's like, I'm doing something with one hand,
right?
But I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the other hand,
right?
So it's kind of
the
like
magician's trick.
Yeah, the magician's illusion trick,
sleight of hand, or whatever they call it. Yeah, so that was interesting to me. I just, you know, I don't know. It just made me think about that when he was talking about just people who just need your attention. That's all they need. Just any type of acknowledgement. And sometimes people get caught up in whether it's good or bad. Well, do you think it's a good thing to protest, or is it a bad thing? Should we be watching this? Should we not? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, just as long as you tune in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And are affected by it. Yeah.
They feed off of that energy, that ashe.
I mean, when you look at the food chain or just any chain, you have the prey, the predators, but the reason they eat is energy. You know what I'm saying? And in order for the lowest entity or, you know, creature to survive, it needs energy. Even from like decomposing,
that's right.
It gets energy. It has to survive off energy. So you gotta know, you know, you just have to know everything has a true nature. And how does it get its energy?
Wow.
The polarities.
Right.
Okay.
You know, understanding polarities. That's important.
Yeah. And also being conscious of what you lend your energy to. Like, you know, one thing is I don't pay for cable. I am not buying cable. I will go without, you know, because I really don't watch TV much anyway. But just some of the things that we just buy into as if it really doesn't matter. You know, oh, it's not. Yeah, I'll watch this TV show. That's an hour out of your life to sit up and watch.
Right.
You know, like junk TV or something like that. And you're just, and you are feeding something your energy. You don't think it's anything. It's not a big deal. But those energies, those entities that need it are feeding off of that 1 hour. Because if I can get an hour from you, an hour from you, an hour from, you know, from 10,000 to 50,000 people, look at what that adds up to. And if you notice, a lot of times now, the stories are just looped. It's just looped over and over. They play back-to-back reruns and reruns and reruns and reruns all the time. Even on CNN, you know, the stories are just looped like every 5 or 10 minutes. Same stories over and over. That is crazy. You know, it's almost like, God, it's like a mental implant. I mean, it's like...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's emotional. It's emotional, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Okay, another question. Do you think the info that you learned from the video, as well as the altar video that we watched, will change the way you work with angels or Orisha or any of those type energies.
Most definitely. The altar and the shrine, that DVD to me was important as far as I immediately put that to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was very instructional and just comprehensive. The DVD on the Orisha archetypes, it gave me a more understanding of what I was dealing with and how to deal with the Orishas.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think the principal point for me was these are entities that you then employ, and his focus on that really got me.
Right. I think that got me too when I first started.
Yeah.
Right, when I first started working with them, because people will kind of spook you and say, "Oh, you shouldn't put Oshun with. Oh yeah, they don't get along." Or if you don't make those offerings, something gonna come and get you.
Yeah, kind of like
And they try to spook you with that, and it was just like,
well, that the whole concept is spooky.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's some mysterious something.
Wow.
Some mysterious, uncontrollable something.
Right, uncontrollable.
You tapped into working with this angel or this Orisha or something here, and now they open up the door to you. You know,
if you don't give Oshun her cinnamon, she gonna come and get you. You know.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciated that when I started working, and like you said, when you understand that they are here, you are to employ them. It just gives you a completely renewed sense of power.
Right.
Just like, oh wow, well I can mix this with this. It's alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, okay, I can mix metal, I can mix iron with water, or I can add air to fire.
Yeah.
Or I can, it's alchemy now. It's not, you're not worshiping, some energy over here sitting behind a tree or that's gonna come out and get you if you don't give the right offering.
Right.
If I don't have, if I don't give her oranges, what am I gonna do? So,
wow.
Yeah. Let's see. What did you think about the way he explained transformation through corruption? I know when I first heard one of the blog talk shows, one of the lectures, when he said that word, you are here to corrupt yourself. I thought, oh my God, what are you talking about? Because that's such a strong word to say, that you are here to corrupt yourself. I was like, what does that mean? And something in me just felt like, no, don't say that when you talk about it. Because you think of that as something negative, as something so bad to do. I don't know. But once he broke it down, of course, I understood it. And this is the idea of transformation through change, pretty much. Or, like you said, the only way to trap a God is to make it human, or to encase light in flesh.
Mm-hmm. And
your job is to transform beyond that. So, how did you take that when you heard him say, like, this is the reason, you got sent here now, you have all these handicaps. You have emotions, you have attachments, you got addictions, you got, all this stuff now. Now let's see what you can do. You were a God before, but now I'm about to handicap you. I'm going to give you all these problems. Now let's see what you can do.
So you meet the challenge by overcoming or dealing with all of those issues. And I guess the real challenge is then to get back into the mindset of your being empowered by subduing all of this. That's what I got from it.
Well, did it make you think of, I know a lot of people, when they get into spirituality, sometimes they cannot reconcile why there's so much corruption or so many problems in the world. They're like, well, if this is, really supposed to, free you or do this, then why can't we just solve homelessness? Or why can't we do, why can't we just do this? They want to completely wipe out some type of, whatever type of blemish there may be, without understanding why it's there. So for me, it kind of helped me put into perspective some of the things that we consider to be not so good in the world.
Yeah.
And this is for that reason, for your transformation.
Yeah, I do think typically as you come to more of a spiritual perspective, it is that thing. I gotta go save the world, and I gotta go do this for the world. But as Chief was talking about, the most important thing is for you to evolve yourself.
He said
that.
be self-centered. That's exactly what he said. He was like,
do you, kind of like do you.
Right. He's like, to self-actualize, you have to be self-centered. And there's so much negativity attached to that word, self-centered. Oh, how can that's selfish? How can you say that? He was like, no, you run the show. It's about you. It's not about you trying to save the world. It's like in order for you to be, you have to be the creator, like you were saying earlier.
You're saving the world. It dissipates your energy from your, I think, growing and evolving yourself. Even in, I know some of the causes and things that I like to work with. What I'm principally concerned as I'm donating my time, energy, and whatever, is what is it doing to me? How am I growing? I've helped somebody with a food program, but I really learned how to offer assistance and from more humility.
Right.
Because I'm putting myself in that person's shoe. So, I mean, that's me growing myself.
So are you saying like helping it? Because people always, I've heard, is there a such thing as a selfless act? Like when people give or something, they say you're really not, you really are being selfish in that, because you do expect an exchange of energy. But people always tell you should just give, and you should just give, and you should just give, and don't expect anything in return. But don't we do everything?
Well, the expectation, for instance, if you're giving, the expectation of a return, and it was not necessarily from that particular individual, but just as you have sown, really from this, I've gotten, as you've sown energy, resources, then you do have an expectation from the universe that it will come back then to you.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. That might be, I think, kind of a secondary in comparison to, I have the resources and I can now help.
Right.
But for me to kind of be in denial of that, that's really kind of dishonest to me.
Right.
That's dishonest. Because even in the case of, just like on the food program or other volunteer venues that I do, I get something I'm expecting me to grow. From the experience, from meeting other people or something out of that, the exchange. Yeah.
So I mean, it's give and take. It's give and take. But with the corruption, I feel that was very important, because it's like, how do you know you evolved if you can't look back and know where you
came from?
So that made a lot of sense to me. It like when you're going through the corruption, of course it don't make sense.
Right.
But when you can look back and be like, wow,
I came through that.
I got through that.
I got through it.
It's like, okay, now I can walk with my chest, out and my back straight.
The fear is gone.
Some
of the fear is gone. Or sometimes it can still scar you, so that you don't move forward.
Yeah, but it's kind of like your perspective of that situation. Yeah. What did you get from it? Did you learn from it? So yeah, I think it's kind of your perspective of that situation, because it can be good or bad. But I like when you said that.
Yeah, that just messed with me at first, because you're always taught you're supposed to be good and do good things. What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Being corrupted. What do you mean to corrupt myself? I was like, no, that's not. What do you mean? So that used to mess with me, but I understood it much clearer a lot later, which changed a lot of things. Like I said, in my rituals and our rituals and whatnot. But going back to what we're talking about, giving something and expecting something back. That's another thing that you're taught you shouldn't do. Like he said, the whole thing with being self-centered, and it's just like, that feels bad to say that. Like,
It does.
yeah. What do you mean self-centered? And expect something. Expect something in return. That was one thing, and even in ritual that I had to learn. Like, you go into it with the mindset that, it already worked. I did it, and I expect it to work. Of course, it's going to work, and I'm going to get what I asked for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not.
And be okay with it, and not feel arrogant for saying it again.
Right. So I'm learning. I mean, the universe isn't shallow, so what you put in is going to come back. And what you were saying with giving, I might not expect immediate gratification, but I know something is going. I'm going to get something out of this. And just serving, like I realized the feeling I get when I'm serving, I'm genuinely serving because I want to serve you, because I want to uplift you. I know in response I'm going to get something back, even if it's just a small gesture. That makes me feel some type of way.
Do you go into it expecting?
Honestly, to me, I don't, but I'm learning. Unconsciously, I think I'm expecting, but consciously, I'm probably not expecting. I'm probably just, I want to serve, because I see it's a need.
Yeah, let's say, politically, let's say if you're a business person, you're not making an investment in that business without expecting a return.
Right.
But in a lot of instances, let's say regular consumers, they expect you to mindlessly consume products and stuff, and not really you're not the investor into the company. They just want you to consume. So we're talking about different levels of operating, and I think what we're talking about, let's say when he mentioned the concept of corrupting yourself, that's when I heard that, I thought, okay, this is challenging me,
right, okay,
to stay in the same
condition
slot that I have been operating, but challenging me to expand me spiritually in other areas.
Okay.
What can I learn by putting myself in this position now?
Yeah, to me, it's like getting out of your
comfort zone. Yeah,
really growing. That's how you grow.
And the analogy that comes to mind for me is when you're in the gym, you're weightlifting, right? So you're lifting, you bench pressing, and that sort of thing. And as you can be able to handle 20 pounds, going up to 25.
Yeah.
So you're breaking down muscle as you're actually in the gym. But when you get home, get to bed, the muscle is repairing and building up.
That's when muscles grow.
Yeah, so that cycle. So how much more so should we not be trying to grow, let's say virtually, grow in mind, or grow in other characteristics, grow spiritually?
That's true.
I guess I'm trying to make a link between, especially when you go into ritual, you go in with a knowing that it's worked and yes, I expect something back.
Like an affirmation.
Right. Versus saying that, oh, I just want to serve, which is what religion teaches us, to always be in a servant role. I just want to serve, and I don't expect anything in return.
Right.
I mean,
well, for the most part, for those of us who folk in religion are not in the leadership role, right?
Yeah.
So it would behoove the structure to have you in a service sort of.
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it like I have the attitude now where if I devote my time, yeah, I expect something back.
right.
I'll serve, but I want something in return, and I had to learn how to be okay with that, and stop trying to just be, oh, I just want to serve, and I just want to help people, and nah, yeah, I'm gonna help, and I'm gonna give you 100%.
Right.
But guess what? I expect something to.
I think that's knowing your value, or getting to know your value, getting to know your worth, and that I think a lot of times traditional, especially with women, we have
mothers.
And
I was going to say that's that nurturing. Like I just want to nurture, But it's
a lot of times,
to me,
right? But a lot of times with mothers, we burn ourselves out because we are always in that role of doing for others and not knowing how to receive back, or not, you know what I mean? And we burn ourselves out, and you don't get replenished because of that. But people expect that of you.
Yeah,
you're a mom. You should give up your whatever for your child.
Yeah.
Why not?
Be selfless.
Right. Be selfless. When he's saying, no, you have to be self-centered.
Well, how can you balance it? I guess that's my question. To be self-centered, but also to do what comes natural to you. Which I think as a mom and a woman, that comes natural. You want to serve and nurture. So how can you balance those?
I'll give you a prime example. And I'll just say this for the show. This can kind of go in as a consecration testimony. When I went through a certain part of my consecration, Chief asked me, okay, who are you? What's your purpose? What are you here to do? Who are you? And he's like, yeah, don't give me that I'm a mother and I just want the best for my child and I want to raise my child to be. Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. What are you here to do?
Right.
Aside from that.
Right.
And at that point, I was just kind of like, I don't know, because it's like, once you become a parent or you just accept these titles, you become that, and you lose complete focus of, oh, wait a minute, I'm also an artist. Oh, and I'm also this, or I'm also that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, so to me, when that's one thing with the corruption and the self-centeredness that I had to be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, what are you saying? You're not supposed to say that, but when he asked me that, and it just kind of broke me down. He's like, yeah, you're a mother. Yeah, that ain't your purpose. You didn't come here to be a mother. He's like, whatever. I was just like, how could you say that? So, yeah, and it really makes you, like you were saying, now you got to find the balance. This is, you being a mother is an attachment that you created once you got here. It's an attachment.
Right.
But aside from that, you still have a purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, it's about trying to
balance.
Being self-centered. In other words. Yeah. Let's see. What do I have now? Is there anything that really stood out to you that we haven't talked about yet, or anything else that?
I like in the video how he said, kind of like the zodiac. Like you want to become
all of them.
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like some people, they think because of this reach over their head,
that's what I am.
That's who they serve. That's who they is. And he's like, no, you want to become everybody. And then he said something about the soul and the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're born, your body comes in under that certain zodiac sign.
Right. Your
But
body.
Your body, right. But your soul is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting.
In which case, it really points out that this form of teaching is really quite fluid.
Right.
It's
Right. And it's very common sense.
Yeah.
When you think, after you sit and think about it, like, oh yeah, because, speaking of what you were saying, like the zodiac, he also said, or even in Christianity, when you have the 12 disciples or disciplines,
Yeah,
it's like it's not about picking one. You have to know at what point in your life to use. It's almost like, when do I need to use an axe and when do I need to use a butter knife, kind of thing,
Just discernment.
Because some people, like you said, oh, I'm a Gemini, and we Geminis, we do this, and that's just what we do.
Yeah,
as if you can't change.
Yeah, you it's almost like living in the excuse of
Well, because I'm a Gemini, that's just how we are. Yeah, and you can't do it. You can't do anything outside of that. So that was.
I like how fluid this is. I'm looking forward to learning more about the angels, the Orishas. That'd be it. I need to get more. I need to learn more.
I love how he broke the names down in etymology. To me, it makes it so just simple. Like he was saying, Obatala.
Right.
I think Oba means.
Right. See if you remember.
Right. Oh, does Oba mean ruler or? I know. I remember he saying white cloth.
Right.
And the fabric holds everything together.
Right.
White reflects
all of the colors.
Light. I mean,
or all the chakras.
All the chakras. And then he was saying the old age, and that's why you couldn't put liquor or anything in the offering because he's fragile. That old wisdom. Yeah. So when he was breaking it down like that, it's kind of just like, are you back in school? It's like,
that makes so much sense. Yeah.
Okay. and those are the type of lessons that stick with you because now you got the formula. It's like, I understand.
Right. Or even how he said in the beginning, like he was like, yeah, I'm a Babylon, but you will rarely hear me say that because he said I don't have enough gray hairs in my beard for that yet.
Right.
Meaning that he was like, I can still go out and eat a bunch of junk, sugar, go get some chicken or whatever. He's like, and I can still be all right tomorrow.
Right.
And he was saying there's a certain something that comes with eldership that you can't eat as much salt. You can't. Everything is very delicate, and I thought about that because I was like, not only does your body change in terms of dietary needs or whatever, but something happens mentally as well. And he touched on that, but I don't remember exactly what he said. But he was like, I mean, mentally, your thought process and everything, it's wisdom. It's like it completely changes, and you have a different perspective on things that you wouldn't have, before. I just think about things like my mom or, older women in my family. I'm like, he is so right. Because I think about it all the time with my mom. She's like, I can't eat that stuff. I can't, I can't eat that. She's like, and she has to stay away from a lot of stuff because she's now reaching that age and, just looking at her thought process or how she tells you, what you should and shouldn't do or why, or just passing on some wisdom or something. I was just like, it makes sense. Well, like you said, that's that Obatala energy.
I think he broke Orunmila. He broke that name down.
Yeah, Orun, heaven, Eli, or is diviner.
Okay.
So that messenger, sending down, relating messages from heaven.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I think that says a lot too, just about the Yoruba language, or even language, or even language in general. Because, like, you know, I was explaining word prefixes and suffixes to my class one day, and I forget what word came up. Maybe original or originality or something like that came up. And even as I was explaining, I was like, "What's the root word?" You know, I'm teaching them how to pick the root word out.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? The root word is ori, which means head, which means that's your soul, or the original energy, that first energy. And so it just shows how that language is just carried on through, you know, throughout everywhere.
Right.
This is the origin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your ori is the origin, the beginning. And that's that first, that's the energy, that's the oldest energy. You know, it's older, like you said, older than the Orisha. So a little stuff like that. So every time I think about certain things or words now, I always kind of, that's in the back of my mind all the time. Like you said, Peter, Patah.
Yeah.
Obatawa. You know, just to see how these words change and letters shift, V's and Y's are exchangeable, and you can see how these stories are all connected. You know, the Egyptian pantheon, the Yoruba, the this, the that, the Sangoma, the Christians, the Greeks, and people are so busy fighting and arguing over who did what first. They're not seeing the connectedness of all of them.
Right.
And like you said, I have the power to choose whatever I want to pick from either one of them. If it works, it works.
That's it. That's it.
It works.
That's it.
So, let's see. Can you? Is there anything I'm leaving out that you guys would like to discuss or share?
I mean, just me, but I just like the contrast he put between the music. At first, I was like, wait, okay,
where is he going?
Yeah,
with this?
exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. I'm like, okay, where is he going with this? And I had my head sideways a little bit. Like, come on now. And then he started, really breaking it down and just like, the music today is maximized, so you can't really appreciate it.
Right.
And so, like, I'm a music. I like music, and I like film. But when he said the silence, you're experiencing the silence.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why film people, professors who teach film, or all the film books I read, they say watch silent movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the initial deal.
Yeah. So you watch stuff. That's when you really hone in your eye and your craft.
Because you can, in those moments of silence, like you said, is when you can imagine whatever.
Right. That space.
That space in between the beats. Yeah.
Well, and I gathered with the digital music that we're hearing now, you have something going on all the time.
All the time. Just straight noise.
Yeah. And that old school, the four tops, all of that.
You can hear them take a breath before they hit that note. And
then how he talked about how Stax music and some of those old Motown started to record on 3 tracks. And I remember 8 tracks.
Yeah.
Right. Man.
Right.
And I remember my parents getting a new car. And it came with an 8-track deal. Right? And it was that music that they used to be for the Masters, the U.S. Open. Dun, 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 dun. And we put it on the stereo or got it out of the car. Oh my goodness. It was just like it filled up the whole room sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you really feel like you're there in the session. Like, I guess that wax.
Yeah.
You hear it on wax. Because, I mean, my father, he just loved music. Like, he just played music. Definitely like those oldies. Like, wow. Like Delphonics in like the 60s and 70s. The Shy Lights.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear it, when I hear it now, because at first I was young, I was like,
Yeah.
why is he so passionate and so into it? You know, but now as I hear, I'm like him, and now my son looking at me like, Mama.
Yeah.
You know,
And they were also true musicians. They could actually sing and play real instruments.
right.
Okay.
They were playing instrument, like he said in a lecture once. He was talking about the music. These instruments they're playing have ashe. They have energy. So of course you can feel it because the drums are made from animal hides.
Right.
The piano is all these things come from natural elements.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to digital music, it's all fake sound. It's simulations of sound.
Right.
So it's not even, it's not connecting to that natural feel.
Exactly.
Well, that's the difference, of going to a live performance
Mm-hmm.
and then,
Mm-hmm.
hearing the necessary
Right.
CD.
Right. But yeah, I was understanding that. I was feeling that too.
Yeah.
That because there are just certain songs that you can hear and you feel like they wrote that song for me.
Yes.
They wrote that song just from, do you hear? And you'll talk, did you not listen to this song? What is wrong with you that you don't like this song? And you just get so enveloped in it. It's just like,
Like I can listen to Royal Ayers, like
Roy
Roy
Ayers.
Ayers?
yeah, his music is just like wow, like, and it's that silence, it's that imagination, and
Yeah.
it's the contrast, and I was like, okay, it all came together, once he said that.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, yeah, I gotta get on my side of movies.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really good point. Okay, well, we are coming up on our hour. And I just wanted to say, ladies, thank you again. And just so the audience knows, we stay up to like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talking about these DVDs. So in a sense, this is our offering and sacrifice to the Anu Shrine because we have put in some energy and ashe into these talks and into meeting and making sacrifices with the children to bring them over here, bring them over there.
And some with them, baby.
Right. And then getting up the next day, going to work, halfway asleep. So this is our offering to the Anu Shrine. And thank you, ladies, for contributing and coming through for me.
Sure, absolutely.
All the time.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to some more, actually.
Good. I will
Let's
definitely
do it.
keep you posted.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I'm going to say this, and Chief will be really happy to hear this. Audrey, Tanisha, and I have decided that we're going to go in together and do that solar experiment Chief was talking about. We are going to build this solar array. So you guys look for pictures and things like that. And I'm going to post some pictures and let you all know how that comes. But
I'm
yeah,
so excited.
we are definitely doing that. And that's also going to be my daughter's science fair project. So we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's it.
Yeah, so thank you again, and thank you, the listening audience, for tuning in this week. And we'll be back next week with another topic and another guest. Peace.
We are an African people. We will remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors. We will honor the struggles of our elders. We will strive to bring new values and new life to our people. We will have peace and harmony among us. We will be loving, sharing, and creative. We will work, study, and listen so we may learn. Learn so we may teach. We will cultivate self-reliance. We will struggle to resurrect and unify our homeland. We will raise many children for our nation. We will have discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will live as models to provide new directions for our people. We will be free and self-determining. We are an African people, and we will win, and we will win, and we will win. Ashe. What is Anu Asafo? Anu Asafo is our opportunity to present our varied perspectives on our culture in an atmosphere that is conducive to and fosters growth and communal reclamation, the reclaiming of our communities, dissolving the lines of division that wedge a chasm between those who are authentically bent on destroying the strongholds that would maintain the veil of mental object among those striving towards higher awareness and what we will call ma'atic rebalancing. As we destroy, we build better individuals, better families, better communities, and a better nation. This is the work of warriors who are engaged in a war against a common enemy in the form of a mechanism of beguilement and spiritual subjugation. We build. Anu Asafo is a child segment of the Enlightenment and Transformation media experience, which of course is a child component of the Anua Nation. If you'd like to learn more about our various components and activity nets, I urge you to go to anunation.org, which is ANUNATION.org. The Anu Asafo segment on Enlightenment and Transformation is a student coordinated and managed show segment. Our Shule, our Sedulu, or what you may call our school component, is the Sedulu House. If you'd like to study with us or gather more information, visit theseduluhouse.com, which is SADULUHOUSE.com. The mission of the Anu Spiritual Order is to serve as custodians to original culture. We are here to share, and we are here to implement original, indigenous, and most significantly and empirically, Akibulanian culture and deep thought knowing. This has been the Jegna Chief Yuya Asan Anu, signing in and signing off for the Anu Asafo. For the free Arisha Unlock Your Inner Power podcast-based class on the SeduluHouse.com. We are coming down to the wire. We'll be presenting not only our new spiritual training, phase 1 on the Sedulu House, but several other classes that we have coming, which will be supportive classes. We have more free classes coming forth as a support to the Anu spiritual training, and also as an offering to our listening audience, those who are just here enjoying the information and applying the information. You can get a first-hand approach to our learning material by way of our free courses. So we urge you to sign up. Of course, Unleash Your Inner Power is podcast based, but we will be putting some other ones up there as well that are directly and exclusive just to the SeduluHouse.com platform. So we look forward to you joining us over there. Of course, every Sunday, we have a live broadcast by the name of Chief Speaks. You can tune in right here on Enlightenment and Transformation, and you can call in with your questions. And I ask that we keep the questions down to at least one question per caller. And that's 11 a.m. every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern and 8 a.m. Pacific. And that is the Chief Speaks show, which is a live Q&A segment where you can call in and ask the questions that you need to. All right. And that has been our announcement for this segment. Now back to our broadcast.
Again,
Stay tuned. Stay tuned to this show to hear more about some of the things covered in those videos. Of course, we can't, cover it all or reveal all. So make sure you check it out for yourself, or you have a dinner party and invite your friends or family over to have a great discussion on some of the topics. But as always, before we get into that part of the show, let's recap what's going on with the Self-Actualization Tour and the A New Spiritual Training. So, click on the follow button on the Enlightenment and Transformation page of Blog Talk Radio to keep up with all of the shows, as well as news and announcements with the A New Spiritual Order and Training. Also, be sure to check out the many resources provided by the A New Order to keep you in the loop of what's going on. On Facebook, you have Orisha Religion, Sadulu House Spiritual Institute, H. Yuya Asan Anu, and the Self-Actualization with the Cosmic Forces of West Africa. Information is posted regularly on those pages and is updated on a regular basis. So make sure you go there to check out what all is going on. On the web, you have anewnation.org, saduluhouse.org, orishareligion.com, and enlightenmentandtransformation.com. On those sites, you can find lectures, tons of free, effective rituals. You can schedule readings, get contact information, as well as sign up for the training. The websites have tons. Greetings and welcome to A New Asafo. I'm your host, Kim, and last week on the show, my guest reviewed one of the A New Order's new videos, Shrines and Altars. It's one of 3 new DVDs offered on the Sadulu House website. So this week, my guest and I will be reviewing another one out of that collection, which is Orisha Archetypes. I'd suggest that you check out saduluhouse.com. That's SAD as in dog, ULUHOUSE.com. There's a lot of new information and new products in the store section of the website. There are also some really great bundle deals on the services, books, and DVDs to help you save some money. So if you're just coming into the training course, that would be a great resource for new students. You can actually bundle all of the literature, all of the new literature to help you through the course. The DVDs that we'll be speaking on today are just, really great resources for everyone, not just students. The content, of course, is very good, but the quality of the videos is awesome. It's not your average conscious, lecture DVD. So the guests today are going to talk about that later on in the show as well. So make sure you tune in to make sure you go to saduluhouse.com and check out all of the new additions and updates to the site of information. If you have any questions about what's going on with the New Order of Training, also you can find contact information for customer service issues. There are also YouTube channels: A New Nation, Sons of Sankofa, H. Yuya Asan Anu, and Orisha Yoruba. So there are many ways to stay in touch with what's going on and ways that you can reach out for readings or questions if you have them. So please check one of those sites or resources first before you try to call or leave a message on the Facebook page or on any of some of the numbers that you guys may have, because you can usually find the answers there. If you're a registered student, make sure you join the New Spiritual Training on Facebook, and you can ask your questions there. The students are very active in the group, and they can help you with any questions that you may have, because I promise you, someone in the group has more than likely asked the exact same question. So make sure you go there first. The Self-Actualization Tour is almost to a close, but you do still have a chance to catch one of the workshops. So make sure that on December 27th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. you check out Heru at Black and Nobel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That workshop is entitled The Powers of the 14 African Principles. He will be discussing the spiritual significance of Kuji Chagulia, which is the second day of Kwanzaa, and the work of cultivating family, community, and culture. You have a little time to plan for this one, so if you don't live in the area, you have time to make travel reservations or whatever you may need to do to get to Philadelphia. But the time is coming, quickly, so make sure you get your plans and everything lined up before you miss it. If you do plan to attend, please go to meetup.com, meetup.com, and RSVP for the event. The name of the meetup group is Enlightened Spirit. Also, be sure to check out Heru's new show, Chief Speaks, on the High Frequency Radio Network channel, where he will be answering questions and giving spiritual advice live. He will not be doing readings, so please don't call in and ask for a reading, but you can ask questions if you have them. That show broadcasts simultaneously on this channel, Enlightenment and Transformation. So, I'm going to take a quick break for more announcements, and we'll be back with this week's show.
Okay, announcements. December 27th, I will be presenting a workshop, Power of the 14 African Principles, at Black and Nobel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is December 27th between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And I'm sure you will enjoy that. Again, I urge you to RSVP now. You can go to Enlightenment and Transformation for more information. Also, we urge everyone to sign